Hey, it's great to be with you again today. I want to ask you a question. Do you go through tough times in your life? Raise your hand. Anybody? Anybody? Or is it just me? Right? Right? We all go through tough times. We have times when things just don't go our way, right? And sometimes it's heartbreaking. Sometimes it's crushing to our soul. We grieve, we cry, right? We get depressed, we get anxious, and these things come into our lives. And if you're like me, many times you go, "Oh, I got it. I can handle this." And you start to work on the problem. You start to work on the crisis, and you go to the things that you know and are used to dealing with, and you read some books and you look at stuff and you're like, "Oh, I have this experience. I know how to deal with this." And it just doesn't get any better. As a matter of fact, sometimes it gets worse. And our anger, our anxiety, depression, it deepens, and we start to be in distress, and we start to look around and like, how am I going to deal with this, man? I mean, this is just too much for me to deal with. And after a day or two of trying to deal with things on our own, suddenly it comes to us that we should pray, right? Maybe we don't have to go through this alone. Maybe we don't have to struggle and try to figure it out on our own. Maybe if we would turn to God and ask Him to give us wisdom, to surround us with those who would give us godly advice on how to handle a situation, to open up a door for us to see a way through, or as we go through it, to ask God to be with us every step of the way, every breath we take, so that our strength comes from Him and not ourselves. You see, we are humans and we tend to do those things, don't we? We are self-sufficient, we're independent, we can do it all until we can't. And when we realize that, then we realize how much we truly need our God, how much we truly need to have His Spirit working in the situation. And when we do that, many times this load is lifted, right? When we turn it over to God, and we still work hard, we still try to figure it out and try to work, but we try to figure it out by following where God leads us, not where we think we should go. We try to figure it out by working hard and saying, "God, take me and use me, open doors. Let me work through you, work through me. Help me to go to the next step. Help me to follow where you lead me and not try to do this on my own." As we go through these days, may we realize we don't have to do this alone. We have a God who wants to be with us every step of the way, from incredibly bad, dire circumstances to just our everyday problems. May God continue to pour out His grace, mercy, and blessings on each and every one of us until we get to meet again. Amen. Amen.